This is the sculpting project, 3D animation of Monsters, Inc., a movie that's coming out in July, I think. And this is Sully's head. He's the hardest part of this project. I don't know the other guy's name. He's a circle, but he's easier. So I'm going to do the harder character. First of all, I did Sully's head, which was the shape of a bell. And I took the bottom of the bell after I molded it and turned it forward for his muzzle. Next, I put in his eyes, which were BB size, and then I pierced them into the clay with this stick here, stylus stick. I made his eyebrows, his horns, which are just cones that I twisted, his nose, which is a triangle with 2 holes in it at the bottom, and then I drew his mouth in. I cannot make his teeth, they're too small. The kids can try, you can try, good luck. So that's his head, and I would suggest doing the head separately, all at once, because there's so much to put on the head. Next, the body was done with just an oval that I made into a cylinder, slightly bent it, so that I can put Sully's head on here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach Sully's head to the slightly twisted cylinder. All I do is just smooth the head to the cylinder. You can slip and score. You really don't need water for this clay. Very little water. I would not give water to the students because they tend to dunk the whole thing, baptize the piece inside the water and make a mess. So this clay is probably the most manipulative clay we've had this semester. So I'm putting Sully's head on. He's looking sideways. Next, I'm going to put his shoulders on. May I have that little tiny stick? His shoulders and arms. I've already sculpted these. You see, I divided the toes into 3 using my slicing tool, and then I pinched out the toenails. Now I take it, attach it to the bottom lower part of his head, just smooth it on. Then I make the arm operate or shape the way I want it, and then I pull in his claws. So you can do any kind of gesture you want with this. Mold the arm the way you want it to look. The next arm, same thing. A cylinder with 2 slits at the end, and I made toes by pinching out the toes with at a sharp point. So I turn this around and do the same thing. Attach it to the bottom side of his head. Manipulate the arm the way I want it to be formed. And I'm going to attach this in the back by smoothing with my fingertips. There. Curl his hand in. Okay. Next, I'm going to put his legs on. So for his legs, I made the letter S out of the cylinder, and I sliced it with 2 lines at the feet and pinched out his toes. S, toes. So I put this at the bottom of his body, and just press it on like that. Don't be afraid to be aggressive with this so that it will attach. Next, same thing, other side. Press it down, make sure it's stable and secure. Now I have him standing on 2 feet. Next comes the tail. The tail is a cone shape. I drew a line down the center of the tail and added triangles for his, whatever those are. What are those called? Scales. All right. This goes at his rear end, and it will also help support him for standing. So you really have to push that in and adhere it on all the way around, 360. So now I have more support. Looks like he's running. The last thing I have to do is I have to put scales down his back, and I wanted to show you how to do that because I did it already for the tail. I just draw a line down the center of his back that follows all the way to the end of the tail, and I add these pre-made triangles, and I just put them in with this stick. I just take the tip of the stick and roll that in to secure it. Another triangle. Put it down that line so it's a center line. And the kids are really good at this. Their hands are small and they can pretty much get these looking pretty professional. Just make sure they're fastened securely to the back by checking everybody's work at the end. The younger ones have a hard time securing things. All right. This next scale. It's not a very good looking scale. I don't like it. So I'll take this one. There's this one, and I secure it again with the tip of my stick, rolling it into the clay on his back. So there you have Sully. What was that? Oh yes, and please study your notebook. It tells you exactly word by word how to do this. And the younger students can do the round guy, which I don't know what his name is, and he looks like an M&M with one eye. And the older students can do Sully. Sully is a very nice one, and if you have a mixed class, I think you may want to go with Sully or split the board. Another thing is you don't need much water, so if you're more comfortable using water as the instructor, you can use a little bit of water, but it'd be best not to give the students water since this clay is so moist. So that's it for Monsters, Inc.